of you have come a long way. Barely 5 months ago, you were school children. Now there is a touch of maturity about you. I said a touch, a very faint touch, which is a great thing in itself. And I believe this is the magic of St. Stephen's College. And through the assembly, we are trying to grow more and more into this alchemy that transforms us and adds to our value as human beings. And this must be your continual concern, your driving motive at all times, to become more and more valuable, to become better day by day, to enrich yourself with the rich resources of life so that you can be a source of enrichment in your relationship with others. You know, people want to be popular and they do all kinds of things to be popular. Popularity is understandable because who doesn't want to be taken note of? Who doesn't want to be taken seriously? Who doesn't want to be loved? But the whole question is, what shall we do for it? Many people think that popularity is a matter of some pretenses and some tricks. The truth is that healthy popularity, which I feel should be desired, is a matter of your personal richness. Without having to resort to any strategies or gimmicks to draw attention to yourself, simply by being who you are and where you are, you should be able to create a positive atmosphere. And the person who is with you, thereby, should feel affirmed, empowered, encouraged, enriched. It's possible. Even without your uttering a word, it is possible. It's when this kind of inner riches are not gathered that people become cheap and resort to self-demeaning strategies to draw attention to themselves. Right? You should become a presence that others seek. You should not have to seek attention. You should become a presence that others seek eagerly. And that can happen, and that will surely happen, if your strategy in life is to grow and develop your potentialities, your talents, your abilities, your scope to the fullest. I've said this to you before, but it bears repetition, that beauty is primarily a matter of completeness or wholeness. Anything that attains to its full scope, full stature is beautiful. That's why this passage says, look at the bird in the air. When the bird flies, it's actually demonstrating the fullness of its possibility. So if a human being can actually move towards, we will never perhaps attain 100% of our possibilities. But if we can daily move towards that goal, our life will acquire a beautiful dynamism which has a positive impact on everyone, on the institution also. That's how we contribute to a great tradition. Otherwise, our attitude to St. Stephen's College will be that our predecessors, the previous generations, have worked hard, created a very wonderful, vibrant, coveted tradition of education, and we will simply be parasites on this tradition, draw from it whatever we can, and we leave. No, generation after generation, year after year, this great stock, this this wonderful public treasure has to be enriched. And each one of us must try our level best to do so. That is how you yourself become rich and how you develop and become a blessing for others. Right? But this is actually the purpose of the assembly. And this is not included in the syllabus of the university, unfortunately. This must be the driving purpose of education. And therefore, a genuine Stephanian will take the assembly with utmost seriousness, as all of us are doing, and I want you to know that this is greatly appreciated. Last evening, afternoon to be precise, there was a wonderful lecture by Sir Dave Ramsden, who is the Chief Economic Advisor to the British government. I was a bit disappointed to note that the attendance was thin. Yes, it happened, it began at 4 o'clock when the day scholars would have departed, but we have 360 students on campus. If they had all come, this assembly hall would have been full. Now I think we must really improve our keenness to benefit intellectually in terms of the quality of our thinking from every opportunity. It's not every student in Delhi that gets this kind of opportunities. Every important intellectual who visits the capital city chooses St. Stephen's College as the first option to deliver a lecture. 2 years ago, the former Prime Minister of Poland, Professor Marek Belka, chose St. Stephen's College as the institution where the only lecture he would deliver in Delhi would be delivered. And after that, he went back to Poland, wrote a letter to me saying that he was so pleased with his experience of interacting with the scholars of St. Stephen's College, he went to the extent of writing that in the whole of Europe, I cannot get such a brilliant audience. This is Professor Marek Belka, who at that time was the governor of the Central Bank of Poland. Prior to that, he was the Prime Minister. So I wanted to know that by participating in such events, junior members make significant contributions to the public image of the institution. Now let me bring you back to the text. I have to continue with yesterday's reflections because we were cut short for want of time. We were thinking about the eye being good or bad, and I gave you two different traditions of understanding it. But when I came to the second one, which is a Judeo-Christian tradition, which insists that the body and the soul cannot be seen separately or chosen as alternative one to the other, but that they must be integrated in order to experience the real riches and meaning or greatness of life. Now there is a reason for it. The reason is this. The Hellenic tradition or the Greek tradition is distinguished for its abstract thinking. The kind of philosophical tradition it developed, particularly since the time of, say, Plato and Aristotle, Socrates was different. Socrates was not an abstract thinker. He was a man who wanted to impact the life of the city, particularly the life of the youth, with deep insights into life. That was why he was granted a corrupter of the youth, and Athens forced him. Athens wanted to put him to death. He said, I do not want this sin to come upon the state, because he respected the authority of the state. Therefore, he chose to drink hemlock, the poison, and die, so that the burden of the guilt will not come upon the state. But after that, you find the development of pure contemplation. But the Hebraic tradition was different. The Hebraic tradition always had a great element of dynamism. And it's because of this particular vision of integration, right? The Greek picture gave us the choice between the two, the Hebraic tradition says integrate the two. The two must be integrated, right? Now, what happens is this. If the body is separated from the soul, then the potentials of the body, which are indeed great, will not have any sense of purpose. So therefore, it will not really know how to give full and meaningful expression to its own scope. And this is a problem that you see writ large over contemporary life. People really do not know how to apply their energies. On the other hand, if you are a disembodied soul, you may have a world of good intentions, but you will not be able to express it. You will not be able to give effect to it. Now, in the case of a person being only the body, there is no light, therefore there is no light to express. In the case of a person being nothing but the soul, there is light, but the light cannot be expressed. You understand? Either way, the result is disappointing. Right? So if you want the result to be great, if you want the full expression of the human person in all its glory, then you need a paradigm of integration. You need the body and soul to work in unison, in harmony. The body and soul functioning as though they are indeed one. Now the question arises as to how this is possible. Now, when two factors are involved, or two or more factors are involved, there will necessarily be a hierarchy. You understand what a hierarchy is? An order. An order of ascending or descending value or importance. Right? So, if the body and the soul are to be integrated, there are two possibilities. One is that the body dominates. The other is that the soul dominates. Right? Now, it is not in the nature of soul to dominate. It's only in the nature of the body to dominate. The nature of the soul is not to dominate, but to express, to give. You understand? So, the healthy relationship, therefore, is to let the soul have the shaping influence. Because Plato, in his classic work, The Republic, says, when he comments on public offices, he says, one of the problems that we will always face in public life is that those who are good, those who will serve people without any selfish intention, those who have wonderful qualities, those who are selfless, sacrificial, etc., they will not covet any public position. Therefore, they will not come forward and offer themselves to serve the public. Right? But he says there will be people who are eager to occupy certain positions, eager to grab and annex chairs, but rest assured they will not be fit for their positions. So there is a problem. Right? So the problem is, the universal principle is this: any force, any entity which wants to dominate cannot be a good influence. Domination is a pathological disposition. Domination is an inherent rejection of complementarity, of cooperation, of the rejection of the value and relevance of the other. Domination is the attitude which insists that I'm superior to you and therefore I have a right to take you on my terms. I have a right to use you for my purposes. That's the mindset of domination. Now, as I said, the soul will never be domineering. It's only the body that, if allowed, becomes domineering. So therefore, logically speaking, in this integration between the body and the soul, if you allow the body to have primacy, then there is a tyranny of the body over the soul. Right? On the other hand, if you let the soul have primacy over the body, then the soul empowers the body, ennobles the body. Then the body also becomes an instrument of light. You understand? And that, according to the Judeo-Christian tradition, is the right relationship. Let me quote a text from the Sermon on the Mount. Jesus says, "No one lights a lamp and puts it under a basket. Everyone lights a lamp, or a lamp must be lit and put on the lampstand so that it gives light to all in the house." Alright? Then the text says, "Let your light so shine before human beings that they may give glory to God." Right? Now the question is, then how does the light that there is in every human being is fundamentally a manifestation of light. A human being is embodied light. There is light in everyone. That is why enlightenment is such a desirable goal. Now, again, I must give you a universal principle, and that is, nobody can give you, this might sound very paradoxical, so you must listen to me very carefully. Nobody can give you what you do not have already. Understood? Nobody can give you what you do not have already. Now, you might say that this is stupid. Why should somebody give me what I already have? The reason is, you do not know what you have. You do not know, for example, that there is light within you. You do not know that you are an embodiment of light. Therefore, somebody has to so relate to you, deal with you, minister to you, help you, as to make you aware of the light within you. At the moment that light is hidden, it's like the lamp that is lit and kept under a basket. The lamp is burning, but the light is not visible. This is an unnatural state, right? So this is why we say that the prime goal of education is enlightenment, which actually means the right and healthy relationship between your body and your soul. That's what enlightenment is. It means that you become such people as would be guided by the light of the soul. It means that in your individual life, the light within you, your soul, has primacy over the body. That's what it means. Alright? Now, the body is local and specific, local and particular, narrow and limited. The soul is universal. Right? So, if there is primacy of the soul in your life, your outlook will be different. On the other hand, if it is your body that is dominating you, your outlook will be so narrow and so limited. All your concerns will be limited to yourself. That's what the text says. What shall I eat? What shall I drink? What shall I wear? That's all your concern. Now you understand how it happens? On the other hand, if it is the soul which is universal that has primacy over your personality, then what will you do? And that's how the text ends. It says, seek first justice. Seek first what? Justice. As long as your body is controlling you, you will never seek justice. You will never practice justice. You will always be unfair and unjust. If the soul it is that is guiding you, then you will have a passionate commitment to justice. Now, when you see people going around with advocacies of unfairness, injustice, false propaganda, in order to create turbulence, in order to mislead people, you must understand what the problem is. The problem is that they are nothing but vulgar bodies within which the soul has not been allowed to wake up. It's a pathetic reality. Unfortunately, because people do not have spiritual discernment, this truth is not understood, and therefore such agents of darkness will be seen as local heroes and heroines. And by doing so, we invite afflictions on ourselves. In an enlightened community, agents of darkness will hang their heads in shame. In a community of darkness, the very same embodiments will be culture heroes. You understand the difference? So, a community that takes itself seriously, particularly an academically vibrant community, which we claim to be, has a spiritual duty to be vigilant against these aberrations trying to take control over our lives. And that must be practiced at the micro level and at the macro level. It should not happen at home. It should not happen in an institution. It should not happen in your religious community. It should not happen in your society. It should not happen in your country. It should not happen anywhere in the world. That burning concern is the heart of justice. You understand? So what should we seek? We should seek justice. Right? Just as we crave for justice, we must also have a passion to ensure that everybody else also is treated justly and fairly. You understand? Now this is the hallmark, this is the insignia of a healthy person, right? That's why it's